chair.
Okay.
Welcome to Youth Questions today. We have a very special guest with us. He's presently on the consultative committee for Ministry of Shipping, as well as on Library Committee. He has been part of student politics and has led as a General Secretary to President of NSUI. Youth Questions today. We have a very special guest becoming the president of NSUI and being elected as MLA, as well as now a member of parliament of a very beautiful place, Ernakulam, Kerela. Welcome on the show, sir. We would like to present Mr. Hibi. Welcome on the show, sir.
Thank you, Harsha. It's been a pleasure to be a part of this conversation. Namaskar, Upadhyay ji.
Namaskar, sir.
It's a wonderful initiative. I hope we can work together in many aspects of my constituency as well as the development of the society. I was basically into student politics from Sacred Heart College, Tevara in Ernakulam. I did my graduation in commerce. There is an organization of the Indian National Congress called the Kerela Students Union. I was a part of that organization. I was a general secretary. I was an elected student union member of the pre-degree, which is no longer a course in Kerala. I was the University Union Councillor of Mahatma Gandhi University. I was a college union general secretary and college union chairman in the year 2003, 2004. Later, I became the president of the Kerala Students Union in Ernakulam, and then the state president of the student organization. So I was fortunate enough to travel across the state to build my student organization to fight for student rights. There were many a times we led student movements across the state. I've been even jailed for many of the activities. I became the national president of the National Students Union of India in 2008 and I was the president till 2012. I got elected from Ernakulam Assembly constituency in 2011 and 2016. Later, I was told to contest in 2009 to the parliament, where I got elected for the first time to the parliament. I am a member of the Urban Development Standing Committee and a member of the Consultative Committee for Shipping, and also a member of the Library Committee of the Parliament. So I'm very fortunate enough to be a part of this very auspicious parliament, where a very long tradition of parliamentarians, a very experienced lot of parliamentarians, and many of the young faces, a blend of both experience and youthfulness has been seen in the parliament. I wouldn't like to comment much on the politics which is going on or not much of the details right now, because I believe that this is a constructive platform. And I think the city I represent has a coastal belt. We have a lot of issues related to the fishermen community. When the Tote cyclone happened, we had a lot of damage of houses of fishermen, which their life and livelihood was disturbed in this course of time. Right from tsunami to Oki to Tote, there have been many disturbances of this community, which is living along the seaside, along the coastal belt. Also, we have great issues of urban development. Even though we own one of the prestigious Cochin Metro Rail, there are issues of waterlogging. Exactly, Cochin is a city which is 1 meter below the sea level. So in future, there are many studies that this city wouldn't be there. It would disappear in a course of time. So that is a major challenge which we have to face. We have the Southern Naval Command headquarters in Cochin. We have many prestigious public sector undertakings, including the Fertilizers and Chemicals of Travancore Limited. And many of the public sector undertakings, which was always a discussion in the past, like the HAL, the FACT, And also it is a medical hub. There is a lot of hospitals which provide qualitative treatment uh, in the past and now in the present as well. What is the next question, Harsh? Can you just tell me what the next question is?
Yes, sir. Of course, sir. So, in the present times during the COVID-19, especially when Ernakulam has witnessed a rise in corona cases recently, what are the initiatives undertaken by your good self?
In 2020, when our parliament session was going on in March, it was then the first case was reported from Thrissur in Kerela. And later there was a huge rise of number of COVID affected people in my constituency, in my district. That was one of the largest in the country as well. In 2020 March end, when the curfew, when the lockdown, national lockdown happened, I used my MP Lads fund for the medical college for supplying ventilators, ECMO machines, etc. 1 crore rupees was allotted initially. There was a huge shortage for the testing kits. So around 32 lakh rupees were allotted for the testing kits, which was supplied from my lab in Pune. Initially, there was huge scarcity for the testing kits. So that was supplied at a very, very high speed. And later, all my public taluk hospitals, public health centers were given 2 lakh rupees for the COVID preparedness to get the immediate measures, to get the basic facilities, to get prepared for COVID. So these were the utilization of the MP Lads Fund, which later in 2021 and 2021, 2022 are 10 crore rupees taken to the PM Care Fund. So right now we don't have any MP Lads Fund left, but with the help of many of the organizations, we were helpful to supply ventilators, which were a major aspect of COVID. Ventilators, BiPAP machines, oxygen concentrators, with the help of Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, with the help of Indian Oil Corporation. We have offices of these organizations in my constituency. So we supplied it to the general hospitals and other hospitals which are in need of these equipments. This was a major part. Also in 20 rooms for students without any preparedness. Initially, students who had access to smartphones, computers, tablets, internet was on one part where who could classes, and there were a huge number of students who were denied the access of internet, phones, etc., even televisions, where they couldn't attend the online classes. So I gave 1 lakh rupees. I made a tablet challenge on social media. I gave 1 lakh rupees from my salary. I invited a tablet challenge. Many organizations, many people from abroad, wishes contributed for the tablet challenge. Around 500 tablets were supplied to the Deputy Director of Education. We took a list from the government schools of those students who couldn't attend the online classes. So there was an attendant register online. So all the headmistress of those places. So I have 7 assembly constituencies. So I went to each assembly constituency with the help of many other NGOs. We went to these schools. We didn't give the tablets to the students. We gave to the headmistresses and principals of the government schools. So there was a list supplied by the Deputy Director of Education in Ernakulam, and accordingly we supplied around 500 tablets. But there are a huge number of aided schools also in my constituency who give quality education and who are from the cross sections of the society, who are underprivileged of the society, who doesn't afford these tablets. But unfortunately, 500, around 450 to 500 was the number we could supply at that point of time. And this year also, there were similar cases. Also, to many of the orphanages, many of the old age homes, many of the institutions which needed support, we had to give them essential commodities with the help of CSR funds. We supplied them with rice, all essential commodities, dry ration was supplied to these places. All there was a time where in old age homes and orphanages, the COVID started, the spread happened at a faster phase. There we had initiated a lot of preventive equipments, sanitizers, masks, gloves, all the basic equipments for fighting COVID. Vaccination was also a major challenge, which we had to face. Even now we are facing. That is something which even we met the minister for today, the health minister Mansukh Mandavia, for providing Kerala with more number of vaccines. We have a good public healthcare system, but the second wave was so bad that even Kerala couldn't survive the second wave. We still have a lot of cases pending. A lot of new cases have been reported. So this is quite an unfortunate situation where we are fighting COVID with the help of many organizations.
Really appreciate all the measures that you all have taken and the initiatives undertaken under your aegis. Apart from that, Ernakulam has been warned about waterlogging problems from the United Nations and issues, as you rightly mentioned earlier, for expansion. Is there any collaborative project being implemented in association with authorities?
Apart from many other states, Kerala is different in many ways. We have the Cochin Municipal Corporation as a stakeholder, but I don't think compared to the other urban cities, we have so much of population in a place like Cochin. We have the adjacent municipal corporations, around nine municipal corporations, and many of the panchayats, around 26 panchayats surrounding this Cochin Municipal Corporation. So this has to be a joint effort, not just the Cochin Municipal Corporation alone can deal with waterlogging. So it is with, we don't have a specific path.
I think so. Connection.
Yeah. Yes.
So you know Mr. Nixon Joseph from SBIMF.
Yes. Yes.
He so
I'm sorry,
yeah,
I'm
Mr.
sorry.
Yeah, most concerned.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. No problem. No
So,
problem.
so really sorry. My wife is facing a medical emergency. I had to send her to the hospital. So uh, waterlogging is not just waterlogging. Mosquitoes is a major concern. Uh, Cochin faces all the issues related to urban development, but we don't have a uniform study, or we don't have an organized method of treating. We have many central government projects in place. We have the smart city project. We have the Operation Breakthrough, which is done by the state government, but there is no uniform pattern in which we can deal this issue. I think a study has to be taken, not just the Cochin Corporation area, but the suburbs of Cochin, the municipalities of Cochin, the panchayats of Cochin. We have to have a joint effort to make sure that we get uh, uh, not just a central aid, but foreign aid or whatever organized pattern we get. We are waiting for that. I believe that more initiatives have to be taken on this part. We don't have a master plan for the water logging, or there was a drainage master plan which was prepared by an organization called Esteem Developers. I think the new Cochin Corporation body has taken over the study and they've been working on that. But I believe it is not just the arena of Cochin Corporation, but the suburbs and the surrounding municipalities also have to be taken into consideration for a joint effort. I believe that we will be able to do that in the future.
Wonderful, sir. Sir, during the
Is there any?
COVID-19,
Is
we
there
really
any?
look
Is
forward
there,
to see.
can we have any kind of aid or help in making a proper study for this particular matter?
So maybe our institution can work out something for you. Maybe after the session is over, I will give you
Please.
a call and we can discuss on the prospect of conducting this kind of a study. So on digital
Please do
parliament, with the
something
help
for
of
us.
digital parliament, we can do the necessary
Please
study.
do something for us.
Definitely, we are honor, sir. Sir, apart from that, during you have been a president of so many unions and associations. No one better than you would understand the challenges that a migrant worker would be facing. Especially the ones who have returned back during the COVID times. And they are not a part of these organizations or unions. So, how are you addressing this challenge of urban unemployment, especially for the women?
See, Kerala has a lot of specific reasons for unemployment. Kerala is not a place where we can have huge industries. Our land is very much limited. If you go to Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra, any South Indian state or any other North Indian states, we can see a lot of barren land available. But even for cultivation, for that matter, we don't have proper spaces for that. So rice is coming from Andhra, vegetables are coming from Tamil Nadu. So Kerala is basically a consumer state, and not much of heavy industries have taken place in India, in Kerala. So basically, there are issues of unemployment. Uh, our major territory was the Gulf countries. The UAE was a major place where uh, Keralites used to work in not just as laborers in many different aspects. The educated, both educated and uneducated people used to be working there. But COVID has made the situation even worse. There are a lot of people returning, NRIs returning to Kerala who have lost their jobs, not just the Middle East, but other parts of the globe also. This has been a very, very difficult situation. We have a huge population, around 25 lakh people in Kerala are migrant laborers from Tamil Nadu, from Bihar, from UP, from West Bengal. During the first wave of COVID, we had very efficiently supplied them food kits. We made sure they're not hungry. We made sure that they're not starving. We took all the panchayats, local bodies managed and took good care of them. But many a times they requested for special trains. We had arranged special trains for them to return to their houses. In a place not in my constituency, just in the adjacent constituency, we have even Bhojpuri movies playing in the theaters. We have that many population of the migrant laborers. So we have always welcomed them. We are still welcoming them after the COVID situation. There are a lot of people who needs employment, especially in the construction process, in the infrastructure development. A lot of migrant laborers, out, employees from outside Kerala are working in Kerala. We are supporting them in many aspects. Even during the lockdown started, there were demands of trains to Jharkhand, to Chhattisgarh, to Bihar. So we try to help them in many aspects. We want them back in our state for the development of our state. Our economy is dependent upon them. So we are supporting them. We have unemployment issues, but females, you were talking about women unemployment. We have an organization called Shri, which is a successful uh, women help group, SHG, self-help group, which works quite efficiently in the state of Kerala. We have uh, issues related to unemployment, but as I said, we have limitations from the government side. And this is a time not just government can help. There are a lot of private entities, private players who can help people. There was a concept earlier of having government jobs, but I don't think that is a right time to speak about government jobs. There are many sectors which the people can work upon in the private aspect as well.
Excellent. I'm glad that those issues and the initiatives that you've taken are really remarkable. Very few could have done that. And dealing with the migrant laborers. So, from the present time that we are, for the next 5 years, what is your vision for Ernakulam, and what legacy would you like to leave back?
Basically, Ernakulam is the can do many things in the aspect of infrastructure. Our metro rail is one major state-of-the-art transportation facility which we like to expand many parts of Kochi. I don't think I would just mention a particular specific arena, but infrastructure, of course, the expansion of metro is one major development which I would like to see. A network of metros like Delhi, where last mile connectivity would also be an important aspect. Our water metro would be one of its kind in Kerala, where uh, we have modern air-conditioned boats, which would be a huge network to connect the city of Kochi, which we expect a lot from, which we have a German funding agency around 745 crore is being funded by a German agency, funding agency. The boats are made in the Cochin Shipyard Limited. As we all know, the indigenous. So it is all made locally, but with the state-of-the-art facilities. So connecting a city, an urban city with water, metro, road transport, railway are major aspects of uh, transportation facilities. Also, tourism is something which we have to still unleash the potential. We have a huge potential for tourism, but still responsible tourism, uh, ecotourism. There are many aspects of tourism which Kerala has a huge potential, but have to uh, get more involved. More help has to be given from both the center and state. We have a huge cultural aspect perspective. In a place like Fort Cochin, we have in 16 square kilometer, we have 20 different communities living together. The Gujaratis, the Punjabis, even the Jews uh, we have living in this arena. So we have the Dutch palaces, we have these Jewish synagogues, uh, we have the David Hall, we have the Kochi Muziris Binale happening, the World Art Platform every 2 years is happening in Kochi. So I would like to see the cultural perspective, tourism aspect, all joint, interconnected in many different ways. So transportation facility is one major thing which would connect the global art platform to Kerala, as well as the things I mentioned. So I would like to see a sustainable model of tourism, infrastructure, and also we have major public sector undertakings which should remain in Kerala, which should remain in the public sector, which should be supported by the central government. I won't say a
Wonderful, sir.
particular field like.
Recollect I'm
You
sorry.
mentioned about you mentioned about the vision for the next 5 years. I don't think this is something which would happen in 5 years. This should happen in a course of maybe 20 or
Yeah.
25 years, but maybe somebody would follow me. We need to have a continuity. We should have a sustainable mode of development. That is what I expect. But I also believe that the environment is something which we should take care of. So we have the Mangalavanam, which is an urban bird sanctuary, a forest, mangrove forest, which survives in the city. So whatever development should happen in Cochin should be also balanced in a form that our nature and our environment also should be kept in a proper manner.
So I would like to update you that we've extensively worked on developing framework for sustainable tourism. I would present it to you, the email subsequent to this conversation, sir. So how would you yourself are a young dynamic leader. How do you want the other youth to join you and your mission and to make Ernakulam world-class smart city?
People whom I talk to, they want to see a lot of change, but they don't want to come to politics. They say that politicians are corrupt and politics is corrupt. That is the general idea the media projects nowadays. So I believe that these youngsters should be part of the, not just Cochin. In India, more number of youngsters should join politics, not just any ideology. They can, I won't tell them they should join my party. I would like them to invite them to the political platforms or the parliamentary platforms, not just being an MLA, MP, or Panchayat President or Jilla Panchayat Parishad is the mandate of being a part of the nation building. I believe that uh, joining any organization, believing in a certain ideology, being a part of that, just sitting and criticizing doesn't make you different from any of them. Being a part of these organizations, being a part of these movements, being a part of uh, the processes gives you an opportunity to make a difference. So I invite all the youngsters to be part. Any people who believes in any kind of ideology can join in my process. If they want to see any kind of change or they want to work with my office or they can be a part of how many contributions. However, they can develop, contribute. Some might be uh, good in many different arenas. Some might be good in making policies, developing policies, as you said, sustainable development or growth, or the transportation department. Any specific interest, area of interest. I'd be happy to invite to my constituency, be a part. They can be given internship. They can be part of the policy making. They can be part of the political process. Anything they're invited to Cochin.
Thank you.
Wonderful, sir. We do look forward to working together in coming times. So ours, digital
No,
parliament is an
I
app
don't know to
which,
what extent you can. I don't know, Harsha, to what extent you can contribute, but I would be more than happy if you can make policies, make certain studies.
Sure.
sure, sir. Sir, our, in fact, we are
You
being
said
a part of,
waterlogging. You carry on, please.
yes, sir. So we can definitely work on something together. We are backed by an institute, International Institute for Corporate Sustainability and Responsibility, and we do conduct these kind of studies. and it will be great to explore how we could take an active part in developing Ernakulam, the first sustainable constituency for everyone to see.
Thank you. That will be great.
So Digital Parliament, what we have developed is primarily an app to connect the elected political leaders with the masses. What kind of features do you see that it should have for the political leaders to use it?
See, nowadays, you are somebody who should be always accessible. If you or constituents don't get you on phone, especially in a state like Kerala, you are more accountable, more transparent, and more demanding. So a particular issue, if somebody wants to raise a particular issue on this app or get connected to a particular thing, I think if it is a user-friendly app, any elderly person or I mean a person who is not so much user-friendly with these applications, if they also can use this and they can raise their issues on a particular platform related to if you have kind of different aspects, if it is related to waterlogging, if it is related to infrastructure, it is related to history, whatever it is, if you have different verticals, it would be much more easier for them to be a part of that, and it would be more easier for me to respond to those queries and give them proper updates. It should be an interactive app.
Wonderful. So we will. It will be great to implement these features on the app in the times to come. May I request my fellow panelist, Dr. K.K. Upadhyay, to ask his set of questions, please, sir?
Yeah, sure. Thanks a lot, Harsha. Mr. Eden, see, when I see sustainable development goals, the Sustainable Development Goal Index of Niti Aayog, Kerala is number one. Though a lot of during Corona time, there have been a lot of questions about the management and all over the country. But in development circles, Kerala is always number one. Why it is so, and how you want to continue it?
See, sir, it has the. I would be very frank regarding that, because people always criticize us of the trade unions. Ease of doing business is something which has always been a part of discussion. Recently,
Yes.
a major company was in the newspapers for leaving the state and going to Telangana.
Yes.
So there are two aspects. One is that Kerala has a huge culture of student movements, trade movements, protecting rights. The people of the state are more aware, politically aware, more educated. Uh, an auto rickshaw driver knows more of the law than me or you. So they're aware of their rights. They're ready to question you. They understand the law of the land. So it is not very easy for a lawmaker or for matter any of the corporates or any other people to disturb the local scenario.
Sure.
So I believe that that is one of the major aspects which keeps us moving. But there has also been question in the near future regarding the culture of work, regarding the investment policies, regarding the ease of doing business. These have always been in discussion in Kerala's context. So I think we should be more liberal. We should be more investment friendly. As I said, we won't have a major heavy industry because of the land constraints we have.
Yes.
But as far as we are concerned, we would like to go take it together. As I said, uh, sometimes we might be a little late, but we are concerned of a future. That is the reason we make sure that our rivers, our seas, our forest, our nature is being protected and survived.
Sure, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time. Any final message to all our viewers?
No, I don't want this conversation to be just a conversation which happened on the last 43 minutes. I just wanted to take it to the next level. I would like to request your valuable presence, suggestions, and also involvement in framing policies. We have a lot of constraints being members of parliament or elected representatives. Sometimes we are powerless. Even though we are a part of the lawmaking process to make laws for this country, there are certain times when we don't have that power as much as we need. We don't have that professional qualification to make major decisions. So if we have a professional organization in place to make a proper study of the issues and not getting solutions for all the problems, but at least to understand what our problem is, being a coastal constituency, being a constituency which have to face a lot of weather climatic changes in the future, which was affected by tsunami, which was affected by Oki, which was affected by major climatic issues. I would like to request this organization to have uh, a process whereby we can also understand how we can take this, take a position in the future uh, in relation with the local bodies and the government also.
Sure.
Thank you so much, sir. We do look forward to working with you, and we can jointly make a roadmap to make your constituency the first sustainable constituency in India. We can work towards it, and we do look forward to
Sure, sir.
Thank you, Harsha.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Padri.
Thank you.
Hope to see you in Cochin soon.
Sure,
Bye.
sir.